CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Makovic.
Right now on the afternoon edition, authorities and the president announcing the suspect in the Charlie Kirk murder is now in custody. Details on how it all unfolded. More on that story in just a moment. But first, we're following breaking news here in San Francisco. Police saying that they've arrested a suspect in the deadly stabbing of a father who was picking up his son at a West Side elementary school. Acting San Francisco Police Chief Paul Yap says the stabbing happened Wednesday afternoon in a crosswalk at Junipero Serra Boulevard and Ocean Avenue near Commodore Sloat Elementary School. It was during school pickup, and students had to be brought inside and that campus secured. Police say they used automated license reader cameras and drones to identify the suspect, Daniel Patrick Rodriguez. He was arrested this morning in Tuolumne County, and he's being brought to San Francisco.
In less than 48 hours, San Francisco police, using both technology and strong investigative work, located and apprehended the suspect.
The homicide was horrific. A father who was walking across the street with his son was fatally stabbed in the crosswalk after getting into an altercation with the suspect. Our hearts go out to the victim and his family in this case. We did everything we can to ensure justice is served.
Meanwhile, police have not elaborated on the argument before the stabbing or said if the two men already knew each other. The district attorney says they will make a decision on charges in the next 72 hours. SF Unified Superintendent says that the district is doing everything it can to support families and staff at the school. Much more on this story coming up tonight at 5. Now to Utah, where federal authorities there say they believe that the alleged gunman in the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk acted alone. The suspect now in custody. CBS reporter Andres Gutierrez has those details.
We got him.
Authorities identified the suspected gunman in Wednesday's fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson of Utah.
A family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
The development comes after the FBI released surveillance video overnight of a person seen on a roof, then jumping down.
Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" Catch!
Essentially, somebody that was very close to him turned him in.
President Trump broke the news on Fox and Friends, saying a minister and the father of the suspect helped in the arrest.
I hope he was going to be found guilty, I would imagine, and I hope he gets the death penalty. What he did, Charlie Kirk was the finest person. He didn't deserve this.
The 31-year-old conservative activist was shot and killed Wednesday at Utah Valley University during one of the college campus debates that he became famous for. On Thursday, Vice President J.D. Vance, who is a close friend of Kirk's, along with the second lady and Kirk's widow, escorted his body home to Arizona on board Air Force Two.
President Trump has confirmed he will attend Kirk's funeral. Meanwhile, at an event today, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was asked about gun violence and security for politicians. Here's what she had to say.
But we also have to act upon our belief that we have to put an end to the accessibility, the access to guns in our society. I think what happened yesterday was terrible, but I am still heartbroken about the little children who were saying prayers in church in Minnesota, and they were shot through the window. That's what we have to put a stop to. I mean, it's important to protect our elected officials, but we have to protect the American people. First and foremost, that's our responsibility.
Stay with us for the very latest on the investigation into the shooting of Charlie Kirk on air, on the CBS News app, and of course on our website, kpix.com. BART has now agreed to pay close to $7 million to a woman who was shot by a BART officer over at the Union City Station. The shooting happening last November. Jasmine Gao survived but was severely injured that day. At the time, police say that Gao was shot after assaulting an officer with her car, but now The agency says a review of body camera video shows that assault didn't happen. BART says that they have fired that officer involved. Now to San Jose, where the city has been trying to clear a big encampment from Columbus Park, where there were hundreds of tents and RVs. Now it's clear after several sweeps over the past 3 weeks. But as our Andrea Nakano reports, there are still hurdles for people who have been left behind.
To see this,
Raquel used to call Columbus Park home.
last time I saw this field like this was when I first became homeless in 2012.
She didn't want her face shown on camera, but she was one of the first to call this place home. This is where she eventually raised her son before she was placed into a tiny home.
I get down on myself about that sometimes because it's like, you know, I told myself I would never be homeless with my son because I was when I was a kid.
As she looks at what is now an empty field, she was overwhelmed by a flood of memories.
To see this field is whew, it is truly breathtaking. It's a lot of memories here. You know, a lot of friends passed away here.
Raquel came back on this night to help some of her friends still struggling to find housing.
They had his name. He was one of the first people out here, and now they just dropped him. It's like they don't really care. Like they act like they care about everybody out here, but they really don't.
According to San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan, more than 150 people have been housed as Operation Cleanup Columbus enters its third week, with 65% agreeing to move into temporary housing. Those who are not from Santa Clara County have been referred back to their home county for services. Raquel hopes this will help some of her former neighbors stay off the streets for good, but also knows this isn't a solution for everyone.
There's some people that have been out here so long that it's hard to be in four walls. So they will be back out here, maybe not here at this spot, but they will be back out on the streets, unfortunately to say. But for some people, this is that step they need to push them forward and get them a little bit closer to like living a normal life or getting back on track in life.
Big transitions. 2 weeks ago, San Jose, they opened up their first ever safe sleeping site near Watson Park along the Guadalupe River. There are 56 tents there, including 8 that are ADA compliant. It's supposed to be a bridge between the encampment at Columbus Park and stable housing for people. San Jose is also using former hotel space to help people. The city converting the Bristol Hotel on South Bascom Avenue into housing to give people in Columbus Park a new place to stay. It's part of a city-funded program and features 66 units for unhoused people. The mayor says another hotel was already full with 42 residents there, but more properties will be opening up in the next coming months. The WNBA playoffs are now set. The Golden State Valkyries start their postseason on the road in Minnesota Sunday against the Lynx. It will be a tough test here, though, for Golden State. They just lost against the Lynx last night. The Valkyries, they trailed almost the entire game. Then they fought back hard in the third quarter. But turnovers doomed the Valkyries, and Minnesota would go on to win 72-53. That, though, dropped the Valkyries to 8th seed, so they stay in the Twin Cities, and they play against the Lynx again Sunday morning.
The playoff matchup is set. You'll stick around here in Minnesota, take on the Lynx. How do you feel about that matchup, coming off of this game?
Yeah, it's really good. I think there's a lot of positive to it because we just played them. So I think it's then just obviously becomes a little bit of a chess match because now you have film on them. So I take it as a positive. I take that we get to stay here. We don't have to fly. So I also take that as a positive.
All right, the good news here is the first round is a best of 3, meaning the Valkyries will get a home game next week. The Valkyries will play at SAP Center in San Jose. That's on Wednesday night. Meanwhile, tickets for the home playoff game, they're on sale already to Valkyries and Warrior season ticket holders. Chase card holders get access at 1 p.m., access at 3 p.m. opens up for Golden State insiders, and general sale opens up at 6 p.m. Still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area, Steph Curry helping young golfers thrive. Hear about his growing mission. Plus, a different look for the 49ers offense, a Sunday preview coming up in our Red and Gold report.
And it's another cool and cloudy day here in the Bay, but we have a big warm up around the corner. I'm going to have more on that coming up in your full forecast.
Welcome back. Authorities in Colorado, they've now identified the teen who they say opened fire at a high school in a Denver suburb on Wednesday. Investigators say 16-year-old Desmond Hawley used a handgun to shoot two of his classmates at Evergreen High School before turning the gun on himself with a fatal shot. The two wounded students are now in critical condition, including 18-year-old Matthew Silverstone. Sheriff deputies are examining the suspect's social media postings and his possessions to determine a motive here. Now to a developing story. President Trump is expanding the use of the National Guard to help fight crime in another major U.S. city, this time Memphis, Tennessee.
So we're going to Memphis. I'm just announcing that now, and we'll straighten that out.
National Guard?
The National Guard and anybody else we need. And by the way, we'll bring in the military, too, if we need it.
FBI data showing that Memphis was among the top U.S. cities for violent crime and murder in recent years. This week, the Memphis Police Department touting new statistics, though, that show overall crime is at a 25-year low. Tennessee's Republican governor says that he's been in constant communication with the Trump administration to develop a strategic plan to fight crime in Memphis. The president said he would still like to deploy the Guard to Chicago. Democratic leaders in Illinois have threatened legal action if he sends the Guards to that state, though. Taking a look outside with our first alert weather forecast for you. Things are nice. We're on the cusp of your weekend. Let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Jessica Birch.
All right, let's start off with these daytime highs because we kicked off this week with cool, cloudy conditions and a little bit of rain. It's still cool and it's still cloudy, but daytime highs today are the warmest they've been all week long. What does that mean for us? Well, we're seeing 80s up in the North Bay today, 70s into San Francisco. That live look behind me that you see, it's still gray and cloudy over the Bay Bridge as we make our way over into Oakland, only topping off at 73 degrees. We make our way down into the Santa Clara Valley. You add 10 degrees to that, we're in the 80s this afternoon. And if you think that's warm, we're continuing to warm up day by day as we head into this weekend and early next week's forecast. Let's start off with what we're expecting today, though. It's still cool and cloudy along our shoreline. That's going to be the case as we head into this afternoon in places like Pacifica, Half Moon Bay. Heading into the next couple of days, as the winds start to shift, we'll continue to see cloudy mornings, clear afternoons ahead of us. And on top of that, our inland spots are already seeing plenty of sunshine, too. Top that off with the fact that we're also dealing with some stronger winds into the evening hours tonight. There's some big changes around the corner as we head into next week, and the winds will actually play a factor into it. So let's talk about it. As we take a look at our daytime highs throughout the next 7 days, we are warming up and drying up fast as high pressure moves in. We're going to see sunnier skies. Relative humidity will start to drop as we head into next week's forecast. We're talking about upper 90s around the corner, close to triple digits in places like Antioch, all the way over into Concord and Walnut Creek. Well, when you factor in some strong winds with those warm temperatures and, of course, low relative humidity, that's fire weather conditions in its fullest form. So we're going to continue to keep a close eye on that moderate heat risk as we head into next week's forecast. That'll mostly be in our inland areas. For our friends along the bay, we're holding on tight to 70s for now. We'll slowly start to warm up into the 80s into next week, a little bit more mild as we wrap up next week closer to Thursday heading into Friday. So a little bit of a warm up around the corner. That's what we're gearing up for this weekend, heading into early next week. Back to you.
Thanks, Jess. Warrior superstar Steph Curry, he's on a mission to open doors for young golfers. He founded the Underrated Golf Tour, now in its 4th season. It provides teen golfers with the access and the resources to play a sport that may have been out of reach for them. This morning, Curry Cup is underway at Liberty National Golf Club in New Jersey. Today, Curry spoke on CBS Mornings about what inspired him about his brand's mission.
I got introduced to the game when I was 10 years old by my dad, and it was something that we got to spend a lot of time doing, growing up. And so for a lot of these kids, they kind of get left behind, especially around the competitive age range, that 13 to 18-year-old experience where, it's an expensive sport. We all know that, traveling around the country, equipment, coaching. We want to give kids an opportunity to, again, be able to go after college scholarships, be able to put themselves in a position where they're on, the biggest of stages and get to, again, show exactly who they are, not just as golfers, but as people.
Opening up doors there, the top 16 girls and 15 boys from this tour will be competing in the final round today. Good luck. Well, now from golf to football, the 49ers offense will look a little different this Sunday in New Orleans without Brock Purdy and George Kittle. Vern Glenn has the latest in today's Red and Gold Report.
This is the Audi Red and Gold Report.
Mac Jones will start at quarterback for the 49ers on Sunday, and he could have one familiar face to throw to.
Hi, everyone. How you guys doing?
Kendrick Bourne is back in the red and gold and hopes to be on the field as soon as Sunday's game. Bourne and Jones were teammates in New England for 3 seasons after Bourne left San Francisco in 2021.
Just attacking it this week, and I'm excited to see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
I remember you once comparing him to your son in a very positive way. Does he still have that personality?
I don't know. I think my son was like 11, 9. He was 9 then. I think they've both grown up a little.
With the Red and Gold Report, I'm Vern Glenn.
All right, it's lunchtime. Are you hungry? This is going to make your mouth water. Still ahead, details on the Bay Area soul food restaurant that's getting national attention. It does look good. Bon Appetit is out with its list of 20 best new restaurants for 2025, and it includes a San Francisco restaurant, Minnie Bell's Soul Movement on Fillmore Street. The editor-in-chief of Bon Appetit was on CBS Mornings to talk about this year's theme, homecoming.
Such a great restaurant, and it really does encompass everything that we've seen with so many of these restaurants. Not only delicious food, but taking you back to a restaurant that tells you a lot about a neighborhood, tells you about ambition, tells you about a sense of place. That's something that we have seen with so many of the restaurants this year, really giving a sense of ambition, sense of place. And we think that those are things that we saw in characteristics of all the restaurants on the list.
There's nothing like good soul food.
And what do we want to take a road trip with restaurants in mind? The list has 20 restaurants from across the country that opened in the last year. The other standouts here, they include Lennox in Seattle, specializing in Afro-Caribbean cuisine here, and the Rin, an Irish pub in Baltimore with just 18 seats and no reservations. Coming up, spreading a love of reading for children, a new resource that's opened up to thousands of young children in San Francisco. Parents and children, listen up. Dolly Parton's Imagination Library has come to San Francisco now. The program gives a free book to children under 5 each month, all for free. It's a partnership between the Dollywood Foundation and the San Francisco Department of Early Childhood. The foundation says more than 35,000 children in the city are eligible for free books.
This small free gift provides the opportunity for all children under 5 the same opportunity to read and love the same books before they ever meet each other in kindergarten. It's also the excitement of opening that gift every single month with your name on it and exploring new adventures and wonders of the world.
Parents in San Francisco can sign up at local libraries in San Francisco or at imaginationlibrary.com. Remember, 15 minutes makes all the difference. That's it for the afternoon edition. Remember, we're streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app. Our next newscast, that's at 5 o'clock. Have a great afternoon, everyone.